Welcome back to Horoscope TV. So I want you to imagine waking up on a Monday morning, getting out of bed, and suddenly realizing the foundation of the house you've lived in your entire life is, well, completely hollow.
Oh, wow. That is a terrifying thought.
Right. You pull back the floorboards, and there's literally nothing but empty space holding you up. And honestly, that is the exact psychological reality you are facing this week, Scorpio.
Yeah, it really is. It's intense.
Exactly. So for the period of June 15 to June 21st, 2026, we're looking at some of the absolute most intense planetary shifts imaginable. And you absolutely need to tune in right now because this week, well, it forces you to heal the oldest romantic wounds you carry.
And also navigate some complete gridlock in your workplace.
Yeah, total standstill. But the good news is you ultimately find a fresh wave of vitality by the weekend. Getting there, though, is going to take a level of strategy and endurance that, frankly, only you possess, Scorpio.
It really is.
So we are taking the astrological charts and breaking down the math of the sky to show you exactly how to survive and thrive.
Yeah, because the astro data for this specific week is, it's incredibly dense.
Dense is a good word for it.
Right. We are not just looking at minor shifts here. We have major outer planets locked in direct tension, while the inner planets trigger very sensitive areas of your chart.
So it's like a chain reaction.
Exactly. The geometry alone tells a story of intense pressure followed by a necessary release. I mean, we're looking at a process of extreme pressure testing your life.
Pressure testing. I mean, that sets a very different tone than just saying, you are going to have a hard week.
Yeah, it implies a purpose. It's not just random chaos.
Right. It has a goal.
Yeah.
So let's look straight at the big picture and start with the source of that pressure. Because we really have to look at Pluto.
Oh, absolutely. Pluto is the key.
For our Scorpio listeners, Pluto is like the engine in the background of their lives, right? It rules over their energy and their direction. But Pluto is moving backward right now.
Yes, it is retrograde in the sign of Aquarius.
So I want to understand the actual mechanics of this. What does a retrograde Pluto actually do to a Scorpio? Like in plain terms?
Well, we need to understand what retrograde actually means astronomically to, understand how it feels psychologically.
Okay, lay it on me.
So the planet Pluto is not actually reversing its orbit in space. It's an optical illusion.
Like when you pass a slower car on the highway and it looks like it's going backward.
Exactly like that. It happens when the Earth, moving faster on its inside track around the sun, overtakes a slower outer planet. So as we pass it, Pluto appears to move backward against the backdrop of the stars.
Okay, but how does that visual trick actually change things for us down here?
Well, in astrology, that visual illusion translates to a massive energetic shift. When a planet moves forward, its energy is directed outward into the world.
Makes sense.
But when it appears to move backward, that energy turns completely inward. I mean, it becomes a deeply internal process.
Oh, I see. So instead of trying to change the world around you, the focus violently shifts to changing yourself.
Spot on. And it is happening in a very specific area of the sky for Scorpio.
Right. It's happening in Aquarius, which hits the foundational part of their chart, doesn't it?
Precisely. You see, Pluto is the planet of the underworld. It governs things that are buried, hidden or decaying.
The heavy stuff.
Yeah, the really heavy stuff. It rules over power, control, and the necessary destruction of things that just no longer serve a purpose. And right now, this backward-moving digging energy is sitting at the very bottom of your solar chart.
Wow. The very bottom.
Yeah, this area governs your roots, your ancestry, your childhood conditioning, and basically the basic rules of family that you built your entire identity upon.
Okay, so going back to the house analogy from earlier, this is not just going down and inspecting the basement.
No, not at all.
This is taking a sledgehammer to the concrete floor of the basement to see what is buried underneath.
That is a perfect way to describe it.
You're looking at the foundational rules your parents taught you, or, the generational habits your family passes down, and suddenly realizing they are completely cracked.
Yes. You start noticing that the way you were taught to handle money or the way you were taught to express anger as a child is completely flawed.
And it's currently ruining your adult life.
That is the exact psychological state the charts point to right now. It is heavy, exhausting work. I mean, you are dealing with old memories and family patterns that you have likely spent decades ignoring.
That sounds exhausting.
It is. Pluto demands truth, and right now the truth is that your foundations need serious repair.
Hold on, though. This is where I kind of struggle with the sequence of events this week.
How so?
Well, you're saying Pluto is tearing up the foundation of the house, exposing all this heavy, dark family history.
Right.
But then the astro data points to a major shift right at the start of the week. on June 15 when the moon enters Cancer.
Yes, that's a very important transit.
But Cancer is a water sign. It represents pure, raw emotion and this strong desire to learn and absorb new things. So if my foundation is cracked and I am already stressed out of my mind about my family secrets, throwing a massive wave of Cancer emotion on top of it just sounds like I'm going to drown.
I can totally see why you'd think that.
Right. Aren't we just pouring gasoline on a fire here?
Yeah.
Or, well, water on a sinking ship?
I understand why it looks that way, I really do, but we have to look at the geometry of the elements here.
Okay, break the math down for me.
Yes, Cancer is pure emotion, but Cancer and Scorpio are both water signs.
Right, they share that element.
Exactly. And in the wheel of the zodiac, signs of the same element sit roughly 120 degrees apart. This specific angle is called a trine.
A trine. Okay.
And a trine is, well, it's the most supportive, frictionless angle in astrology. It does not cause flooding or friction. It actually creates a perfect open channel.
Oh, interesting. So it is not throwing a bucket of water on a weak foundation at all.
No, not at all. It is opening a river that gently carries the heavy debris away.
Oh, that sounds like a relief.
It really is. Because the moon moves so quickly, changing signs every 2.5 days, it acts as a very fast emotional trigger.
Okay.
So when it hits Cancer on June 15, it harmonizes perfectly with your Scorpio nature. Instead of making you feel overwhelmed by the Pluto work, the Cancer moon actually gives you the emotional intelligence to process it.
Wow, so it's actually helpful.
Very helpful. It actually pulls you out of the basement by giving you a strong desire to learn, to explore new philosophies, or to just have deep conversations with people outside your family. It is an intellectual release valve.
Okay, I love that. So the moon in Cancer is like the rope ladder dropping down into the basement.
Yes.
It gives you a way to climb out, at least temporarily, and get some fresh air. You want to read, you want to explore, you want to figure out the why behind the feelings instead of just drowning in them.
And that desire to learn is vital because it really prepares you for the massive shift at the end of the week.
Oh, right. Let's look ahead to that.
Yeah, we are looking ahead to June 21, which is the solstice. And on this day, the sun itself moves into Cancer.
The sun moving into a water sign. I imagine that changes the entire atmosphere.
Completely. I mean, the sun is the core of our solar system, right?
Yeah.
It represents your core vitality, your conscious mind, and your overall life force. So when the sun enters a sign that perfectly matches your own element, it feels like a literal cosmic battery recharge.
You recharge. That sounds amazing after the sledgehammer in the basement.
Right. While the moon passing through earlier in the week offered a temporary release, the sun moving into Cancer on June 21 establishes a brand new season.
So what does that actually feel like for a Scorpio?
Scorpios will feel a massive, undeniable wave of optimism. You will suddenly have a thirst for new adventures that just replaces the heavy digging energy from earlier in the week.
That sounds like an incredible light at the end of the tunnel.
It's a great payoff.
But looking at the timeline of the charts here, the middle of the week is an absolute minefield.
Yeah, there's no sugarcoating that.
We have to survive the middle before we can actually enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
And the astro data shows that the most dangerous territory this week is in the realm of relationships.
Oh, definitely.
The romantic landscape looks incredibly hostile.
It is highly volatile, to be honest. And to understand why, we really have to track Venus.
Venus, the love planet.
Right. Venus is the planet that governs our values, our aesthetic, and how we attract love and harmony. And right now, Venus is moving through the sign of Leo.
Okay, let's break that down because Venus wants peace and love, right?
Yes.
But Leo is a fire sign. And Leo wants attention, drama, and public validation. So how does that combination affect a deeply private water sign like Scorpio? Because Scorpios are not exactly known for wanting flashy public drama.
No, they really aren't. And that's why it creates a strange split in your life this week.
A split?
Yeah. Leo rules the highest, most public part of your solar chart. So having Venus there makes your public life look fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yes. You have a natural shine right now. If you go out to dinner with your partner or if you post photos online, the outside world sees the perfect, shiny, happy couple. You look like royalty to everyone else.
Right, the highlight reel. But the reality behind closed doors is completely different, isn't it?
Vastly different. The public shine is just a mask. Behind closed doors, the real focus of this week is on deep healing.
And to get to that healing, you have to cross a very dangerous bridge.
Exactly. And you cross that bridge on June 17.
Let's talk about June 17th.
Oh,
Because looking at this day Stands out in the charts like a flashing siren.
It does. On June 17th, Venus forms a direct opposition to Pluto.
A direct opposition. Okay, so geometrically, that means they're sitting exactly 180 degrees apart in the sky, right?
Correct.
They're just staring each other down from opposite ends of the universe.
Yes. It is maximum tension. Think of a taut rubber band ready to snap.
Ooh, I don't like that feeling.
No one does. On one side, you have Venus in Leo demanding love, attention, and a beautiful public image. And on the exact opposite side, you have Pluto in Aquarius demanding brutal honesty, uncovering hidden secrets, and breaking down old structures.
So for a Scorpio, this opposition is like a cosmic tug of war playing out inside your own chest.
That's exactly how it feels.
So how does that tension actually manifest in a relationship on like a random Tuesday evening?
Well, it brings intense passion, first of all, but that passion quickly turns into suspicion.
Uh-oh. Suspicion is a dangerous word for a Scorpio.
Very. Venus wants harmony, but Pluto is your ruling planet, and Pluto does not trust harmony.
Pluto thinks harmony is a trap.
Exactly. Pluto thinks harmony is a lie. So on June 17th, a Scorpio will feel a sudden, overwhelming urge to dig for the truth in their relationship.
Give me an example. What does that look like?
If your partner is, say, 5 minutes late coming home, or if they send a text message that seems slightly shorter than usual, the Pluto energy will make you fear total betrayal.
Wow. The jealousy just spikes.
Out of nowhere.
And it is not just a little bit of jealousy, is it? It is a burning, consuming need to know everything.
Yeah.
A Scorpio might feel this desperate need to be in total control of the situation just to prevent themselves from getting hurt.
And that is the danger right there. The tension of the 180-degree opposition forces hidden anxieties right to the surface. It triggers intense power struggles.
You want to manage everything.
Yes. You want to control your partner's reactions, their schedule, their feelings, everything.
So if a Scorpio is feeling that intense grip of jealousy, and they just want to grab the steering wheel of the relationship and refuse to let go, what does the astro data actually suggest they do? Because instinct says, lock everything down.
Yeah, but your instinct will lead to destruction on this day.
Oh, wow, okay.
The geometry of the sky gives very clear instructions. You must deal with difficult truths, and you must choose honest communication over control.
That is so hard to do when you're scared, though.
It is. It is very tempting to manipulate a situation so you feel secure. You might think about checking their phone or asking trap questions to see if they lie.
We've all been there.
Right, but on June 17th, trying to force control will backfire completely. You cannot control the other side of an opposition.
So what's the alternative?
You have to sit down, drop your guard, and speak your honest fears out loud, no matter how vulnerable it makes you feel.
Man, that requires an immense amount of bravery. You are essentially asking a Scorpio to expose their softest underbelly while they are feeling the most threatened.
I know, it's asking a lot.
And let's be honest, how well that honest communication works is going to depend entirely on who is sitting across the table.
That is absolutely true.
Because the charts give a very stern warning about certain personality types this week.
They really do. The astrological mechanics are very clear about compatibility under these specific transits.
Okay, lay out the warning.
If you are a Scorpio dealing with an Aquarius this week, you are facing a severe clash.
Aquarius.
Yes. Aquarius is mathematically the worst match for you during this planetary weather.
Let's analyze why. What makes the Aquarius response so toxic to a Scorpio right now?
It really comes down to the elements and how they handle the tension of that Venus-Pluto opposition.
Okay.
Remember, that tug of war is happening across the Leo-Aquarius axis. Pluto is currently sitting in Aquarius.
Right, in their sign.
So when the tension hits, the Aquarius partner is directly embodying that Pluto and Aquarius energy. And Aquarius is an air sign.
Which he means.
They process the world through intellect, logic, and detachment.
Okay, so while Scorpio is pure water processing everything through deep, overwhelming emotion, Aquarius is operating on pure, cold logic.
Exactly. And imagine trying to force an air sign into Scorpio's deep emotional waters.
It's not going to work.
It is like trying to push an inflated balloon to the bottom of the ocean. The deeper you try to pull them down into your feelings, the more violently they're going to rocket back up to the surface to escape.
Wow, what a visual. So when a Scorpio brings all this intense, passionate, slightly jealous energy to the table on June 17th, the Aquarius will simply detach.
Completely. They will look at the Scorpio's emotional display as a problem to be solved with a spreadsheet, rather than a feeling to be shared.
I can see how destructive that is. For a Scorpio, emotional intensity is proof of love, right?
Yes.
If I am willing to go to the darkest depths with you, it means I care. So when the Aquarius stands on the edge of the pool, completely dry, refusing to get in the water, the Scorpio interprets that logic as a direct rejection.
Yes, and it just feeds the Pluto paranoia.
Oh, no.
The Scorpio will think, well, if you will not show me your deep emotions, you must be hiding something from me. You must be plotting against me.
The spiral begins.
Exactly. The emotional distance of the Aquarius makes the Scorpio highly suspicious of their motives.
So if a Scorpio tries to sit down and force honest communication with an Aquarius on June 17th and says, tell me your deepest fears right now, what actually happens?
The Aquarius will shut the door in your face.
Just like that.
Just like that. If you try to force them to open up, you will only cause them to pull further away. They will view your intensity as a direct threat to their freedom.
And they value freedom above everything.
Exactly. So they will ice you out completely, which will deeply hurt your feelings and leave you entirely isolated. With an Aquarius this week, you just have to let them breathe. You cannot force a locked door open.
It sounds incredibly painful. But there's a massive contrast in the charts, isn't there?
Thankfully, yes.
If Aquarius is the locked door, who is the open sanctuary?
The best match for a Scorpio this week is Pisces.
Oh, another water sign.
Yes, and that shared element changes the entire dynamic. A Pisces does not fight the water, they naturally live in it.
Right, they swim in the same ocean.
Exactly. When a Scorpio brings their intense feelings, their fears, and their jealousy to a Pisces, the Pisces does not detach. They provide a peaceful sanctuary.
And there's a specific astrological event that supports this connection, happening on the exact same day as that stressful Venus-Pluto clash.
Yes. June 17 is a very busy day in the sky.
It sure is. So what's happening to protect this?
Well, while the tug of war is ripping the sky apart in the background, there is a traditional astrological condition forming in the sign of Cancer.
Okay.
It's called a benefic enclosure.
Benefic enclosure. I want to make sure we truly understand the mechanics of this because it sounds like a literal shield.
That is actually the perfect way to visualize it. In the geometry of the charts, the planets are constantly casting rays or angles at each other.
Right.
Some rays cause tension, like we see with Pluto, but a benefic enclosure happens when a specific area of the zodiac is physically flanked by the two most positive, supportive planets.
Which are?
Traditionally, Venus and Jupiter. They act like guards at a gate.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Any harsh energy trying to enter that specific area of the chart is completely blocked by the positive healing nature of those benefic planets.
And this enclosure is happening in Cancer.
Yes, which is a water sign.
So because Scorpio and Pisces are also water signs, they receive a direct flow of this protective energy.
Exactly. This enclosure brings a beautiful wave of spiritual protection. It creates a space where a Scorpio and a Pisces can connect on a deeply spiritual level without fear or judgment.
So if you bring your darkest Pluto fears to a Pisces partner on June 17th, protected by this benefic enclosure, they're not going to look at your jealousy and call you crazy.
No, not at all.
They're not going to hand you a spreadsheet.
Definitely not.
They're going to sit with you, absorb your feelings, and say, I understand why you are scared. You are safe here.
Exactly. They accept your intense nature unconditionally, and that gentle support is the crucial first step toward the massive healing shift that arrives 2 days later.
On June 19th.
Yeah.
Because June 19th, this day looks like a huge turning point for the entire week.
It is a profound shift in the relational energy. On June 19, a planetary body named Chiron enters the sign of Taurus.
Let's explore Chiron because it is not a major planet, right?
Yeah.
It is a comet-like body in the outer solar system.
That's right.
But its impact on the charts is massive. What does it actually do?
Well, in astrology, Chiron represents the wounded healer.
The wounded healer?
Yeah. The mythology of Chiron is about a wise centaur who was accidentally struck by a poisoned arrow.
Oh, tragedy.
Right. And because he was immortal, he could not die, but he also could not heal his own wound. He had to live with the pain.
That's awful.
It is, but through managing his own suffering, he became the greatest teacher and healer for others.
Okay, so wherever Chiron moves in our charts, it points to a place where we carry an unhealable ache, but also a place where we can find profound wisdom if we just stop fighting the pain.
Perfectly said.
And it is moving into Taurus. So why is Taurus so important for a Scorpio right now?
Because Taurus is your exact opposite sign. In the wheel of the zodiac, Taurus sits 180 degrees away from Scorpio.
Right.
It rules your relationship sector, it governs your marriages, your business partnerships, and your most committed bonds.
Oh, okay.
So when Chiron enters this area, I analyze it as a powerful process of healing old romantic wounds.
But this is not a quick fix, is it?
Yeah.
You are not just putting a bandage on a paper cut.
No. Chiron entering the earth sign of Taurus means grounding the pain. It is about taking a deep, old wound, maybe a betrayal from years ago that still makes you suspicious today, and finally cleaning it out so it can close properly.
Like really dealing with it?
Yes. Taurus provides the stable, unmoving earth energy necessary for a Scorpio to feel safe enough to drop their guard.
Dropping the guard. I mean, that is the ultimate goal for a Scorpio, isn't it?
It really is.
Trust is the currency of your life.
Yeah.
If you do not have trust, you have nothing. So Chiron in Taurus allows you to finally experience true trust and vulnerability. You stop expecting the other shoe to drop.
And the astro data gives you even more support on this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on that exact same day, June 19, the moon enters Virgo.
Virgo is an earth sign.
Yeah.
Very analytical, very practical.
Yes. And the moon governs the emotional mood of the day. Virgo energy is grounded, helpful, and highly communicative.
So how does that help with the healing?
Well, if you are with that supportive Pisces partner, this moon in Virgo helps organize all of those deep feelings. It helps you relax.
Organization brings peace.
Exactly. It helps you take the chaotic, intense emotions and lay them out practically, viewing the future with hope instead of suspicion.
It just changes the tone of the entire conversation.
It really does.
Instead of screaming about the past or interrogating each other, you are sitting together, making practical plans for the future.
Yeah.
You are having natural, healing conversations that actually build a lasting bond.
It's beautiful.
It sounds like absolute peace after the chaotic warfare of June 17.
It is the reward you get if you chose honest communication instead of control earlier in the week.
But, and there is always a, but this peace is isolated to the home.
Unfortunately, yes.
Because while you are doing this beautiful healing work in your personal life, the exact same planetary geometry is causing absolute chaos in your public life.
Oh, the workplace is a battlefield.
We really have to examine this professional battlefield. The workplace charts for Scorpio this week are incredibly hostile.
They require extreme strategic planning and, quite frankly, a lot of restraint.
Let's start with the setup, because initially it looks like a Scorpio should be dominating the workplace.
Right.
We mentioned earlier that Venus is in Leo.
Right.
So how does Venus in Leo operate in the career sector?
Well, Venus is the planet of attraction, and Leo rules your house of leadership, authority, and public reputation.
The big boss energy.
Exactly. When Venus travels through this high point in your chart, it grants you incredible career magnetism.
Do people like you?
They love you. You look extremely capable to bosses, managers, and authority figures. They are naturally drawn to your ideas. You walk into a room, and people want to listen to you. You just have a very commanding, attractive presence.
So you look great to the boss. You have the spotlight.
Yes.
But you are still dealing with the geometry of June 17.
Yeah.
That nasty opposition between Venus and Pluto.
Exactly. The cosmic tug-of-war returns. Venus in Leo wants the praise and the public success at work.
Right.
But Pluto in Aquarius, sitting at the foundational bottom of your chart, wants total control over how the work is actually done.
And how does that tension erupt in a normal office environment?
It creates a massive struggle for control. You might look great to management, but suddenly they want to step in and micromanage your project.
Ugh, the worst.
Yeah. You have a vision of exactly how a task should be executed. You know the truth of the project that is the Pluto energy.
You know the right way to do it.
Exactly. And suddenly a boss or a manager tries to force you to do it their way, simply to assert their authority.
Oh, for a Scorpio, having someone else force an inferior method onto your project is completely maddening.
It drives them crazy.
You know the deeper mechanics of the job, and you just want the power to execute it without interference.
Error.
So June 17 is a day where your desire for control clashes violently with someone who has actual authority over you.
Yes, and reacting poorly to that clash leads directly into a much worse astrological trap the very next day.
Oh boy. June 18.
Yeah, on June 18, we see a specific condition forming in your career sector known as the malefic besieged.
The malefic besieged. Okay, let's break down the exact mechanics of this condition, because frankly, it sounds like medieval warfare.
It is an ancient concept in traditional astrology, and the mechanics are very strict.
Okay.
Malefic refers to the planets that traditionally bring challenge, separation, or friction.
Namely.
Mars and Saturn. And besieged means to be physically surrounded.
Literally trapped.
Yes. In the charts, this happens when a planet representing you or your career is literally wedged between the degrees of Mars and Saturn. You are trapped in a narrow astrological hallway with a fire behind you and a brick wall in front of you.
You cannot move forward and you cannot retreat.
Exactly. Your career energy is temporarily trapped. It causes sudden, unexplainable delays and a massive amount of workplace stress.
Give me an example of what that looks like on a Thursday.
You might be waiting for a critical signature on a budget, and the person who needs to sign it is mysteriously unavailable.
Just nowhere to be found.
Right. Or a key piece of software crashes, and the IT department has already gone home. The path forward simply disappears.
I think about a Scorpio in this situation. Their instinct is to force the door open.
Oh, absolutely.
If they are stuck in a cosmic traffic jam, they want to get out of the car and start yelling at the other drivers. They think their logic and their intensity can just clear the road.
But it won't.
Right. A Scorpio listening right now is probably thinking, well, if my boss is delaying the project, I will just send a very blunt, logical email explaining exactly why their delay is costing us money. They will realize I am right and the project will move forward.
And that is exactly what you must not do.
Don't hit send.
Do not hit send. Under the pressure of a malefic besieged, your logic will not be heard. Your blunt email will be interpreted as direct insubordination.
That's bad.
Getting angry will not move the obstacles. It will only make you the target of the frustration. The astro data is definitive on this. You must stay calm and avoid reacting with anger.
Silence is your best defense.
Yes. You must sit in the traffic jam, take a deep breath, and accept that the delay is mathematically out of your control.
You just have to surrender to it.
You cannot fight Mars and Saturn simultaneously. You just have to wait for the planets to move and the siege to lift.
So, bottom line, do not yell at the boss. Do not send the aggressive email. Just survive the siege.
Exactly.
Now, what about the financial side of the career? Because career stress usually bleeds straight into money stress. What do the financial charts show?
The money charts actually show steady growth.
Oh, good.
But only if you rely on collaboration. For most of the week, the sun is traveling through Gemini.
And Gemini is an air sign.
Right, an air sign that rules communication, duality, and sharing. In a Scorpio's chart, Gemini rules the sector of shared resources and joint finances.
So we are not looking at your individual paycheck right now.
No.
We are looking at the money you share with a spouse, maybe a business loan from a bank, or an investment portfolio.
Correct. The sun acts like a massive spotlight here. It illuminates this area, making all the details clear and bright.
So you can actually see what's going on.
Yes. This is a very favorable time to sit down and review loan documents, check on the performance of your investments, or just have a clear, logical conversation with your partner about how you are dividing the household expenses. The Gemini energy makes the math very easy to understand.
And there is a specific day to take action on these financial matters, June 19.
Yes.
This day just keeps coming up as the major turning point for the week.
June 19 is fantastic for financial strategy, specifically through networking. Remember, the moon enters Virgo on this day.
Right, the organizer.
Exactly. Virgo highlights your social networks, your community, and your casual friendships.
How does a Scorpio actually leverage their social network to improve their finances, though?
Well, the astro charts analyze this combination as the perfect time to ask friends for highly specific financial advice.
Okay.
Virgo is detail-oriented. Maybe you have a colleague who understands the stock market. This is the day to buy them a coffee and ask them to explain their strategy.
Oh, that makes sense.
Or, if you are involved in a group project or a shared hobby, June 19th is the day to look for practical ways to monetize it. You can turn a group effort into a steady stream of income by applying Virgo's organizational skills.
I see the pattern here. It is all about strategic collaboration.
Yes.
But, looking further ahead, the charts also show a massive disruption hitting the money sector on June 20.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I see an event labeled as a lightning bolt. What on earth is generating this shockwave?
The shockwave comes from Uranus. On June 20, Uranus forms a square to the true node.
Let's explain the geometry of a square and the nature of Uranus for our listeners.
A square is an angle of 90 degrees. It is the angle of absolute friction.
Like grinding gears.
Exactly. Think of two tectonic plates grinding against each other. It demands action through tension.
And Uranus.
Uranus is the planet of sudden, unpredictable change, rebellion, and brilliant flashes of insight. The true node is a mathematical point in the sky related to eclipses. It points to our collective destiny and future growth.
So what happens when they collide?
When Uranus squares the node, it acts like a literal lightning bolt striking the Earth.
Wow. And where does this lightning strike in the Scorpio's life?
It strikes your creative projects and your financial resources.
Okay, is that good or bad?
Both. You might experience a sudden, brilliant flash of inspiration. You might get an amazing idea that completely revolutionizes how you approach your work, or a sudden opportunity to showcase your talents on a much larger platform. It is a moment of pure genius.
But lightning is dangerous. It burns.
Hmm.
What is the catch here?
The catch is that this exact same geometric tension creates highly unpredictable energy for your money.
Oh.
Lightning is unstable. On June 20, that flash of brilliant inspiration might come with a massive price tag.
Like an impulse buy.
Yes, you might feel a sudden manic urge to drain your savings account to fund this new creative idea immediately. Or the unpredictability might manifest as a sudden, unexpected expense that hits you out of nowhere.
So you have a brilliant idea for a new app, but on the exact same afternoon, your car engine completely dies, and you need to drop thousands of dollars on a repair.
Exactly. The volatility is extreme. The advice from the Astro data is to keep your spending incredibly conservative on June 20.
Lock away the credit cards.
Seriously, do not make any impulsive purchases. If you get a brilliant idea, write it down, but do not spend a single dollar on it yet. Wait for the cosmic weather to calm down. Keep your cash reserves protected.
Conserve your cash and just wait out the storm.
Yes.
So if we pull back and look at the cumulative effect of all this, it is pretty staggering.
It's a lot.
A Scorpio is dealing with Pluto ripping up their family foundations in the basement. They are managing intense jealousy and fighting off Aquarius detachment on June 17. They are trapped in a malefic besieged at work on June 18th, forced to basically bite their tongue while their projects stall, and they are bracing for a financial lightning strike on June 20.
It is an extreme amount of psychological and physical tension for one person.
Which means we absolutely must discuss the physical and emotional toll this week takes. A mind under this much pressure eventually transfers that stress straight to the body.
Always.
What did the health charts indicate for a Scorpio carrying this much weight?
Well, when we analyze the somatic response to these transits, the physical impact is undeniable. Your body is going to act as a literal shock absorber for the planetary friction, and it will go through several major shifts.
The breaking point seems obvious. It aligns with the chaos of the workplace and the relationship tension, right?
Yes. The breaking point hits right in the middle of the week, specifically on June 17th and June 18th.
The tug-of-war days.
Right. The intense tug-of-war between Venus and Pluto, combined with the feeling of being trapped by the malefic besieged, creates a massive buildup of cortisol in your system. Your body actually feels the geometry of the sky.
The body absolutely keeps the score. So how does a Scorpio physically experience a Pluto opposition and a Saturn-Mars siege?
The charts indicate severe physical tension. You are likely to experience tightness in the chest, restricted breathing, or a really deep knot in the stomach.
That fight or flight feeling.
Yes. Your shoulders will carry the weight of the unexpressed anger from work. Because you are using so much energy just to suppress your instinct to fight, you are going to feel emotionally hollowed out by the end of the day. There is just nothing left in the tank.
I want to look at the practical mechanics of how a Scorpio handles this. The first piece of advice is fundamental.
Yeah.
You have to regulate your nervous system.
It's not optional.
Right. When the tension hits on June 17 and you feel that tightness in your chest because you were trying so hard not to yell at your boss, your breathing becomes shallow.
And that makes it worse.
Exactly. Shallow breathing sends a signal to your brain that you are under physical attack, which triggers even more panic. You must intentionally force your nervous system to slow down. Deep, rhythmic breathing is not just a relaxation tip here. It is a biological necessity to break the panic loop.
That aligns perfectly with the data. You have to physically return to your center.
But there's a deeper issue here, specific to your sign. I always view the Scorpio energy field as a giant emotional sponge.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
You are a deep water sign. Your empathy is profound. When you walk into a room, you do not just observe the mood. You absorb it into your own physical body.
Yes.
If your manager is quietly furious, you absorb that fury.
Yeah.
If your partner is anxious, you absorb the anxiety.
It is your greatest strength, typically, but under these harsh transits, it becomes a severe liability.
Exactly. On June 17 and 18, the world around you is going to be chaotic. The people around you will be stressed. If you act like a sponge, you will be crushed by the weight of everyone else's negative energy on top of your own.
You really will.
You must actively put up an energetic shield. If people are gossiping or complaining in the office, you must physically walk away. Put on headphones. Go for a walk. You cannot afford to absorb one single drop of external stress on these days.
Protecting your perimeter is essential to surviving the breaking point. Because if you can protect your energy through the siege, the planetary weather shifts dramatically in your favor starting on June 19th.
June 19 again, the entry of Chiron into Taurus. We talked about how this heals the romantic wounds, but how does the wounded healer actually affect the physical body?
Well, Chiron's mythology is entirely about the connection between physical pain and emotional wisdom. When Chiron enters your opposite sign, it encourages you to seek physical harmony to support the emotional healing.
What does that mean in practice?
Instead of punishing your body maybe by doing a grueling, exhausting workout to burn off the work stress, Chiron asks you to be gentle.
So you replace the heavy lifting with, like, deep stretching.
Yes. You focus on mobility. You eat food that actually nourishes your nervous system instead of just fueling a stress response with caffeine and sugar.
It is about treating your physical vessel with profound kindness.
Exactly. And this gentle approach sets the stage for the absolute peak of your physical vitality, which arrives on June 21.
The solstice. The day the sun enters Cancer.
And it does more than just enter Cancer. On June 21st, the sun forms a highly supportive angle, a sextile to Chiron.
Let's explain the sextile. It is a 60-degree angle, right?
Correct. A sextile is an angle of opportunity and collaboration.
Okay.
So the sun, which is your core vitality, is actively collaborating with Chiron, the profound healer. The astro data celebrates this exact alignment as the absolute best day for your physical health.
That's great news.
After feeling completely drained and trapped in the middle of the week, this sextile floods your system with fresh, clean energy.
It's like finally stepping out of a cramped, dark room into bright sunlight.
Exactly. It actively unties the knot in your stomach. It releases the tension locked in your shoulders. It heals the physical manifestations of the stress you endured during the malefic besieged.
And there is one more lunar event on this day to lock in that peace, isn't there?
Yes, the first quarter moon.
What does that bring?
The first quarter moon is a phase of steady, quiet building. It does not require loud action. It brings a deeply stabilizing energy that allows you to find perfect equilibrium behind the scenes.
Oh, that sounds so peaceful.
You do not need external validation on this day. You can find profound healing just by resting in a quiet space, feeling your mind and body finally align in harmony.
It is the ultimate reward for surviving the cosmic gauntlet. Now, to help our Scorpio listeners navigate this intense mathematical pressure, the charts highlight very specific lucky elements.
Right.
These are tools you can use to anchor yourself when the geometry gets tough.
Having a physical anchor is very helpful when the outer planets are causing so much mental friction.
Let's look at color. The color for Scorpio this week is deep maroon.
Maroon.
Yes, this is not a bright, flashy red. It is a rich, dark, earthy red. It represents grounded passion and deep, unshakable strength.
I like that.
When you are facing that intense opposition on June 17th and you feel the urge to lose control, keep something deep maroon near you. Let it remind you of your own depth and your ability to endure.
It acts as a visual anchor to your own power, keeping you from reacting impulsively to the tension.
We also have a mathematical sequence for you. Your lucky numbers to watch out for are 9, 18, 27, 36, 40, and 46.
Let me guess, multiples of 9 mostly.
Mostly. Whether you see them on a clock, a financial document, or a street sign, use them as a reminder that there's an underlying order to the chaos.
Right.
Let me repeat them for the listeners. 9, 18, 27, 36, 40, and 46.
And we must emphasize the geometry of timing. Knowing when to act and when to hold back is the key to astrology.
Your absolute best days to take decisive action are June 15th and June 19th. On June 15, use that Cancer moon trying to learn, to talk, and to find the release valve from Pluto's pressure.
Yes, lean into that intellectual curiosity.
And on June 19, use the Virgo moon and the entry of Chiron to have those practical, healing conversations about money and love. Those are your windows of opportunity. Mark June 15th and June 19th.
The contrast between the beginning and the end of this week is truly remarkable when you map it out.
It is a massive arc. You are starting the week staring into the foundation of your life, doing heavy psychological excavation with Pluto. You are surviving the violent tug-of-war of your relationship, resisting the urge to control the outcome.
You are holding your breath through the malefic besieged at work, using silence as your strategy while the planets trap your progress.
You are guarding your cash from the Uranus lightning strike. And then finally, you break through. You reach the Chiron healing, and you step into the weekend with the sun in Cancer, feeling a massive wave of vitality and complete physical restoration.
It is a brilliant strategy for survival.
It really is. We have mapped out the entire sky for you today, and I know this breakdown will give you the exact tactical advantage you need to conquer this week. I want to explicitly thank you, our incredible listener, for trusting us with your time and listening to this episode on Horoscope TV.
It is a privilege to analyze these charts and translate the mechanics of the sky into a strategy for your life. Thank you for joining us.
If this tactical breakdown helped you prepare, please subscribe to Horoscope TV right now. Subscribing ensures you get notified the exact moment the next episode drops, so you are always one step ahead of the planetary weather.
As we close, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to carry with you.
Oh, I love these.
The geometry of the sky is giving you a mathematically rare opportunity to heal your oldest romantic wounds through Chiron's movement. So ask yourself this. What outdated belief about love, perhaps a belief you inherited from that cracked foundation in your basement, are you finally ready to leave behind forever?
That is the perfect thought to carry into the week. Let the old rules go, Scorpio. Stay incredibly strong, protect your energy, and we will see you next time on Horoscope TV.